Hello friends, welcome to the start of a new RuneScape series. This is episode 0 and I'm going to take this opportunity to introduce myself and talk about what the plan is. If you're more interested in the gains and progress videos, maybe jump straight into episode 1, assuming that that's been released. So, my name is Joyce and I've played RuneScape on and off for around 13 years. Traditionally, I'm a RuneScape 3 player who mainly enjoys PvMing, shooting for max stats. So for this series, I've decided to make an old school PKer account. Makes sense, right? I've never PK'd before, never back in the day or since old school released. Just never picked it up. So this is a new challenge for me, and hopefully this will document an authentic progression from kind of absolute beginner to potentially a competent killer of men, maker of bank. But we'll see. PK account building obviously isn't anything new, but I hope that this series will not only give me extra motivation to achieve the goals that we set, but maybe useful for anyone else that's starting out a similar journey or transitioning from RuneScape 3 maybe. I will be starting on a fresh account, though I did get 5 woodcutting because I couldn't be seen wasting XP after I arrived in Lumbridge, just while I was formulating the plan. My thirst for XP is a blessing and a curse at times. Apologies to the purists. So a brief history for me then is that I've only ever had a couple of accounts over the years that I've played this game, but I have racked up around 9,200 hours, which according to the 10,000 hour theory, this puts me at 92% to being world class in this subject. So by RuneScape standards, I'm about halfway. Though in truth this means little when starting an account with specific end goals or limitations that you've not found yourself in before. For example, I've never experienced this game having one defense. This brings a world of complications for progression that I'm going to have to learn, especially as someone who loves defense. Nothing safer than 99 defense. My main account is a pretty high level RuneScape 3 account, but I have familiarised myself a little with old school itself, as recently I've been playing on an Iron Man account. Again, this was a new challenge compared with the main, and I've been really enjoying it. But as an Iron Man, PKing is out of the question because obviously you can't pick up the loot. So I'm going to start this new adventure to become RuneScape's greatest PKer, or a PKer at least. Probably just going to be donating loot to people for the most part, but you get the idea. PKing is super competitive, especially because of the accumulated knowledge that players have built up over years and years of playing the game with PKing in mind. This knowledge ceiling is intimidating to players who are new to PKing, such as myself. But whilst I can't make up for that skill gap in switches, knowing ticks, as well as a sense of timing that a PK builds up over time, I can attempt to build a decent account so that I can compete on stats alone, so that at least allows me an entry to like learning the ins and outs of PKing, and then all of the other things come over time. I plan on working my levels towards specific account builds, PKing with that build for a time, and then advancing the account. So in theory, I'll get to try a couple of builds rather than having one concrete build, flying through the levels towards that and then sticking with that. I'm going to give myself the opportunity to try different builds. More research needs to be done before I can be more specific on each build and stats. But yeah, that's the general idea. Try as many different builds as I can, all the way up to a higher level breeding scenario or whatever is considered a high level PK build. I've tried not to look into things too much, as I want to include a lot of my learning process and what I explore in this series. I do, however, see myself having one issue with this plan. I don't have a main account funneling me cash. So GP is going to be a constant battle, and I will have to be self-sufficient on this account. Not Iron Man self-sufficient, but in the sense that I don't have another account running raids funding this one. I would have liked to purely focus on getting PK ready, but expect some general progress, especially in the early videos as I try to build the account in general. I'd say that's plenty of introduction for now, and we'll be getting into episode 1 shortly. Like I said, I need to do some research, and then actually start working on the account. But I think that's a pretty good overview, and we'll leave it there now, guys. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in episode 1.